make it a better place. It'll take creation.
Hi everybody, this is Tina. Welcome to my video today. We are going to dive in and make a card using some new designer paper and a stamp set and a couple dies. If you guys have been following me for very long, you know I usually don't use a ton of designer paper in my card making just because I tend to just do more simple cards. I don't do a lot of layering, but when I saw this paper right here, I was so excited. First, this paper is the Whole Lot of Love paper, and it actually has the designs that the Project Life cards from last year, was it the Lots of Love? I don't exactly remember the exact name of those Project Life cards, but this designer paper has those designs from those cards on it. And all last year, I really wished that we had designer paper that matched those Project Life cards because it was beautiful. So I wanted to make a card with this paper, and this is going to be for my card class that is happening tomorrow. So I have a local card class that I do the third Tuesday of every month, and it's in my local area. And we do it at a restaurant at Dickey's Barbecue, which is really fun. So we have, we eat some yummy barbecue food, and then we make cards. And so we make 8, and I design 4 of them. And then the person that I do the card class with, Wendy Cranford, she does 4 cards, and then we make 8 cards all together. So this is one of my cards for that, and I wanted to do something that was like really fun and with this designer paper. So I chose this stamp set for this sentiment. I wanted something kind of fun, and then I wanted something to fill up the die. So let's look right here. So I'm using, this is the it is the All Seasons. I'm sorry, just got this die. Oh no, this is the bouquet. I'm sorry, this is the Build a Bouquet die set. So this had this little tiny flower in it. This like cluster of flowers. So I'm going to use that. And you can see I haven't put my dies, I haven't put them away how I usually store them. That's because I'm doing a video later this week showing how I store my dies. What I do for this magnet sheet. I get a lot of questions on what I do for my dies and how I store them. And so I'll be sharing a video all about that. I'm going to start doing a couple videos for my series that I took a little break from, my tips, tricks, and storage ideas for different things. And my dies will be featured this week. So I'm using the stitched circle dies. So you guys, I use these dies so much, these circle stitched dies and the square stitched dies, that I just ordered another set of these so that I can be cutting 2 of these at the same time. I just love these stitched dies. I've always loved stitched dies. So I'm gonna use a strip of this paper, this designer paper. We're starting with a Tangerine Tango cardstock. So it's this orange, really deep orange color, which is really beautiful. And a really fun color combination is orange and blue. It is really a color combination that really pops. So we're going to start with this card base, and then we're going to use that designer paper. So what I have here is a piece of Whisper White, and I've just barely trimmed it down. You can see there's barely a border right here. So this card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I literally took like 1/8 of an inch off this white piece so that there would be just the tiniest border. And then there's this strip of designer paper, and I made sure that that was 1/4 inch smaller than the Whisper White, so there would be a nice bright white border around here. So we can definitely put this together already. And then we're gonna grab our Wink of Stella, and we're gonna add Wink of Stella right to these. I guess maybe, are they peaches or oranges? Whatever this fruit is right here. So the really fun thing is this year we have several designer papers that are really very interactive. I feel like if we've had that kind of designer paper in the past, it's really, I've not seen that or tuned into that, but this year we have these great designer papers that either match our die cuts, where you can actually die cut images right from the designer paper, or we have images like this where you could cut these images out and use them, or like right here we're just adding a little bit of glitter and shimmer to them. So that's nice because you get more use out of your designer paper. So hopefully you can see a little bit of that shimmer. It really shows up in real life. I know the camera, it's hard to pick that up. So then what I'm going to do is take some basic black baker's twine. Now I love this. I love the solid baker's twine instead of the white and then whatever color you're using. I love the solid baker's twine, and this basic black is going to be perfect. So what I like to do when I'm adding baker's twine to any project is I like to wrap it around like 3 times. And when you wrap it around like this, you're going to be able to move it around easier. So this looks like it's, oh, here, let's do it this way. Okay, did you guys see how much I fiddled around with that bow? I really fiddled around with it a lot. So I'm just gonna spread these out now. And it worked out really nice that all of my little fruit images are over on this side, and that baker's twine just fits perfect. So let's bring our card base back. And then what I like to do whenever I have like baker's twine or ribbon wrapped around the back, I like to just put a little bit of adhesive right on whatever it is. And that kind of helps it hold in place. And then this is the layer here is going to pop up a tiny bit because there's baker's twine, right? So you're just going to want to really smash that down. Okay, so now we have some of our other images here. So we have the blue circle, and I did that with my stitched dies. I cut out the flowers. I die cut these little flowers. And you notice in the designer paper, there's those little tiny white flowers. These don't match perfectly, but they're pretty close. So that's the other nice thing, is that lots of our product coordinate with each other, which is nice. You get more use out of your product that way. So I'm using a 2-inch circle punch, and we're gonna layer this right on here. And I'm going to use this stamp set right here, and we're going to use the Live Every Moment, Laugh Every Day, Love with All Your Heart. I really love the font choice for this stamp set and the sentiments. I'm going to test this. So this isn't exactly scratch paper, but I just want to make sure that's stamping okay. I am using my StazOn because it is what is out on my desk. So we're going to use the black, and we're going to stamp that right in the middle of the circle. And if for some reason you messed that up when you stamped it, you could just flip that circle right over and do it again. So I like the way our stamps work when you stamp them on our Whisper White paper. Well, really any stamp that you use. When you use it on the Whisper White paper, it really pops. And you can really see the image really well. So I like using the Whisper White for stamping. So we have this layered together. Now what we're going to do is layer this one right on here. And because there's that baker's twine, what I want to do is just go ahead and use some dimensionals. And then the baker's twine will just fall right in between my dimensionals. Press that down. And then we have one more thing we're going to do. So these flowers, what I wanted to do is put these right here on the card, but I felt like they just looked really flat. So I grabbed my Pool Party ink, because this is Pool Party cardstock, because that is what coordinates with this designer paper right here. This color is Pool Party. So I'm taking my sponge and I'm just going to dip it in my ink. Just like this. You can see I'm getting some ink on there. And then you see this image right here, the little flowers, I'm just gonna dab them. And I'm doing it on the edge, like not so much in the middle. And then what I'm gonna do is pick them up and really get the edges with whatever ink is left over. This is really a delicate die cut, so you're gonna wanna be careful, don't rip it. But then you can see that when we put this on the card, it's gonna pop a little bit more and it's not gonna look as flat. So in order to put this down on the card, what we're gonna do is just use a little bit of our liquid glue. And normally you guys know that I would totally pop these up. I would use a dimensional and then I would put some rhinestones in the middle of these flowers. But the middle of these flowers has a star type design, which I think really adds to the die cut. So I really wanted to just allow that to shine through and to pop on that card. So that is my third card for my card class. I will need to create one more. Here's the other sample that I made. You can see, let's zoom out a tiny bit. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this card. Do you like the more designer paper in such a simple layer? Like there's no stamped image on this paper. You could create this card by using a stamped image. If you had a fruit stamp, the lemon zest stamp that we used last week on Friday, you could totally make a background using that and then layer it, or just make a background on this paper, like use tone on tone. So use Tangerine Tango ink and then stamp it on this side and then add your sentiment there. That would totally work too. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that designer paper. Leave me a comment and let me know. And then I would love for you guys to join my weekly email that I send out. Tomorrow I'm getting ready to send out an email. I send one out every Tuesday. I try to send one out every Tuesday. And I'm sending one out tomorrow with a very special offer for everybody who is on that list, who's joined me there. And I'm trying to reach a really big goal this month. And it's a next kind of milestone for me with Stampin' Up! And so I'm trying to reach that. And of course, I always love giving stuff to you guys when you guys help me, when you guys support me by watching my videos and being a part of my emails and just allowing me to, you know, be on your computer screen and in your inbox is just a huge part of supporting me, and I appreciate that so much. So I'm gonna leave a link below this video for you guys to join me in that email. If you want to join and then unsubscribe from me the following week, that's totally fine. If you just want to see what's happening tomorrow, I would love for you guys to jump on there and see that. And then you can also stay in touch with me. I send one email out a week and I don't share your email and I don't spam you. We all have enough email, right? Like, believe me, I know we all have enough email. So I totally get it. So anyways, I would really appreciate your guys' support and I look forward to chatting with you more this week. My family is here and we are painting my office and hanging up wallpaper. So I'm gonna have a huge craft room final tour for you guys in the upcoming weeks. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you guys again on Wednesday.